Sonia back here, and I'm very excited to show you some more colouring book finished pages that I've done in the past week and a bit. I was going to do these videos fortnightly, but I have got quite a bit done, so I thought I would kind of get it out of the way because I'm kind of busy a few times this week. So here we go. I've been working in Romantic Country. I really love this book. The pages are just beautiful to work on with coloured pencil, and it's just such a pretty, romantic, girly type book, and it's just so nice to work in. So I'll show you some of the pages I've done. I hope this is in view. This one here I finished not last night, but the night before, and what can I say? I used Prisma, polychromos, and didn't really do much shading on this, didn't really feel that I had to. I just wanted it to look pretty and have pretty girly colours, so that's all I did for that one. I really like how it turned out. Really love the colours, especially in this house. It's so bright and girly. Then I also worked on this page here, which is really cute. Had fun with that one, using the same pencils. And also this one is a favourite of mine because I'm a really big, as you can see, cup of tea drinker. Love my cups of tea and my cake. I'm a real sweet tooth. So this was like, I had to get this one done. This was a given. This is me. I'd love to go to a tea party like this. This would be gorgeous. I've never actually been to a tea party before, but I would like to have that out in my garden. That'd be beautiful. So really like how this one turned out. I like how I did the flowers, where I left the little bits of white on the tips of the petals. I just really like it. And I'm trying to kind of use the same sort of colours throughout the book. You know, sticking to those pinks and purples and just having a really nice girly feel with this book. This is the first page I did in this book. It was the first one that appealed to me straight away. The only thing I did different in this page is I added a checkered vest to her dress there. That wasn't supposed to be checkered, but I made it checkered to make it a little bit different. And I gave a pair of yellow welly boots. Added these little black lines on there to jazz them up a bit, make them more like Wellingtons. And I added the clouds in the sky. I did use a bit of Derwent, the Inktense. I did use them on the trees and the sky and the house. And I did use a little tiny bit of water, just a little bit, just to blend the shading in the trees a bit. So it did kind of buckle the paper a little bit, but I don't mind it. It's nothing significant. But really love how that turned out. I did all the little pebbles on the path too, if you could see that. I made it like a pebbly path, so really cute. So that's the 4 images I've been working on in this book. It's the first one out of the series of 3. It's just absolutely adorable. If you love cute, very feminine, you know, nice paper, you know, I highly recommend these series of books. This is the first one I've got, and sort of not really keen on buying the other 2 until I've completely done with this one. So trying to work my way through that in no particular order. Okay, so I also have been working on my Happy Hoppers colouring book. I did this one little picture last night because I was watching The Voice in Australia here. That's on at the moment. Sorry, just had a bit of cup of tea. Yeah, really enjoying The Voice. I love listening to all the singers and that. So we get together as a family and we all sit down and watch The Voice. And I did a page last night. Where is it? I did this little one here, which probably only took me about 20 minutes or so. But I really love bunny rabbits, and he was so cute to do. I mean, look at him. He's just gorgeous. His name's Bumble. And at the front of this colouring book, there's 3 different bunnies, it says, and one's a grey bunny, one's a brown bunny, and the other one is like a tan colour. So, yeah, so, and they've each got their name at the bottom of the page, so you kind of know which bunny it is and what colour to colour it. But he is just so gorgeous, so cute. So I did that one last night. Really fun to work on this. Like, it was so stress-free, and, you know, it really didn't take long. I'm just going to keep the background white. Absolutely gorgeous little book if you're after something simple. This one, on the other hand, is my storybook colouring book, and I'm putting all the effort in the world into this one. I have completed my first page in it, The Velveteen Rabbit. And this book I'm going to keep as a keepsake for my grandchildren in the future. But I have completed this page here. And I absolutely love how it's turned out. It was a little bit grayscale, but I actually really, really enjoyed the grayscale in it. And that's my page there that I finished. It's probably one of my favourite colouring pages that I've done. Just for enjoyment wise while I was doing it, and to actually look at it now, it's absolutely beautiful. And I coloured the leaves here where the story is as well. So on to my next page after that. Trying to do those ones in order apart from the very first page, because I want to keep that one for Christmas time. So I did a page in The Velveteen Rabbit. I also worked in my Time Chamber colouring book. I've taken the front cover off because it was getting a bit dirty and mucky and getting a bit ruined, so just took that off while I'm working in it. I've done a few pages in this. I've probably showed you before, but I'll just do a quick flip through. So completed this first page here. I'm using all my soft pastels for the leaves, which was really nice and gives it a romantic soft look. Then I completed these 2 pages. I had fun with those. I said every page I complete I'm going to do another mandala over here. But I haven't. I've been naughty. I haven't been doing that. So I might have to do 1 or 2 of those soon. I think I've showed you this page here. And these pages, I think, were the last ones I showed. So since then, I have worked on this page here. This is still a work in progress. Probably just going to complete the rope and the fairy girl here. And then I'm not going to colour all these in completely. I think I'm just going to keep it red and white. I just need to finish the stars on these clocks or mandalas or whatever they are, gears. But yeah, just keeping that red and white probably. Then I worked on these 2 pages. Had a lot of fun with these. So I finished the nice quilt there. Did that in my pastel colours. Turned out quite nice. And this colour here seems to be a favourite colour of mine lately. I've been using it a lot lately. It's I think it's called light green or pale green, and it's in the Prismacolor, and it's just like been a really favourite colour of mine lately for some reason. This one here, love this page, love how the owl turned out with those colours. And what I did with the curtain, it looks so smooth now. And what I did is I did colour it all in with my coloured pencil. But then after that, I then get my soft pastel and went over the top of that coloured pencil. And it turned out really nice and smooth. It gives it a really nice effect because it is supposed to be like a smooth fabric, like a curtain. So I really like how that turned out too. And I haven't bought my fixative spray yet. So I did say in another video that I have run out, and I haven't been able to get up that way as yet. But I did learn from another YouTube user, this was like a year ago, that if you don't have it, what you can do is use actually hairspray, and it does the same job. So I did use a bit of hairspray. The only thing is they say that some hairsprays over time can yellow a little bit your page, but you know, I'm not too fussed if it gets a little bit yellow. I'm not that precious, you know. So used hairspray, and yeah, it's fixed it really well. It hasn't ended up on that page. So that's a little tip for you if you don't mind that. If you absolutely need a fixative, you can just use hairspray. So that's all I've done in that book. I'm trying to do it in order, but we'll see how we go with that one. But that's coming along quite nicely. I also worked in the story of the Nutcracker, which is another one of those storybook colouring books that I'm looking out to collect. Did the front little Nutcracker with my Inktense pencils, and then added a bit of, it wasn't water, but I added like one of those marker blender tools and blended that. So that's how I did that one. But then I just decided to, this, as you can see, look here, you can see this yellow has come off from his coat. That's because I haven't sprayed anything on there. So that's a classic sample of, you know, what I was talking about, how if you don't put a fixative on coloured pencil, it will come off onto your other page. So I need to do that. I'm going to have to rub that out there. I did colour all his jacket in black, just thinking, you know, normally their coats are black, but then I started reading the story and it says that he has a yellow coat. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I tried to rub out as much black as I could on his outer of his coat. Couldn't get much off, so I just went over with the yellow. So now it's kind of like just a dirty mustard colour. Yeah, I did the kids here in the Derwent Inktense again, but added no water or marker blender, just left it as a coloured pencil. And then this is the last page I've done in this book so far, is the open spread, and this was all done in the Inktense, and I did add the blender marker to blend it all out. But after doing that, I don't know if I really like the look of it. To me, it just turns the whole Inktense pencil into looking just like I used a marker. So I might as well have just used Crayola markers. So I actually prefer the look of just coloured pencil. That's just me. I prefer colour pencil look than markers. And for the first time, I used a bit of glitter glue on the Christmas tree on the edges. Hope you can see that. This was not stickles. This was some little glitter glues I bought from, you know, the cheap shop. And I think I got, like, they're only about this big. And I think I got about 8 of them for $2.50. And just use that, because stickles here in Australia is quite expensive and hard to find in the shops. You kind of got to go online, and then you've got like $8 postage for these little bottles, so it ends up really expensive. So I just look in the cheap shops for the little glitter glues and just use those. So, but it's quite pretty how it added a bit of sparkle. So I might be playing around with that in the future. I did work in the look. If you saw one of my other videos, I did work on this page here, which was a kind of a little tutorial, I guess, on using pastels and then coloured pencils over the top. So I finished that girl there. And we're coming to the end now. This was the little colouring book that I made, the Disney colouring book, and I did a colour along in another video, and that is my finished Snow White page that I completed. Hope you can see that. That was really fun to do. It was pretty stress-free and pretty easy to do, so quite like it. Turned out really nice, I think. It's lovely. I also worked in my Sarah Kay colouring book, which I also made myself. There are these images by an artist from the, I think she was popular in the 70s, 80s, called Sarah Kay, and she's an Australian artist. because I had to Google her. And she's an Australian artist who used to make greeting cards with these little girls on them. At first I thought they were Holly Hobbie. And Holly Hobbie is very, very similar. And these images come up with Holly Hobbie as well when you look up colouring book images. So I'm not really sure if there's a connection or not, or whether they were just very similar. But if you look up Sarah Kay colouring book pages, you'll find a whole heap. This was one I've showed before in a video that I completed. I just love them. They're just really vintage and cute, and you know, I just love them. It just reminds me of my childhood, you know. So I did that. This is the one I've done in the last week. So she's turned out really pretty. Love it. And I got these from educationalcolouringpages.com and made a whole little Sarah Kay colouring book. I printed them out. And they're just so, so pretty. So if you're interested in these sort of images, you know, just look up Sarah Kay or maybe even Holly Hobbie and you will find a whole stack of them. After I printed these ones out and made the book, I actually went online again and I found another few that I don't have in here, so I'll have to add those as well. But really cute images. I'm a big fan of the Sarah Kay colouring pages. And the last book, sorry, I have to get a bit of tea, my voice seems to be going. Okay, is Tangled, and it's a kid's book, yep. And I did show this in another video. This is the only page I've done in here so far. When I was on to my Disney colouring, so that's the one I completed. Quite happy with it. It was Derwent Inktense. Didn't add any marker, blender or any water to it, just used it as a pencil again. But it's a really cute book. I like the images in this, so I may do a few more. And that was Tangled, and that's about all I have done. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please leave a comment or a like if you've enjoyed this video, and happy colouring to you. I want to say hi to Heidi. I'm sending my happy mail to you today, hopefully. No pressure, don't feel any pressure that you need to send to me in the next week or so. I am very easygoing, you know, just send it. Send it whenever you can, that's fine. So have a great day, everybody. Get some colouring in there. And I'll be back, I guess, in another week or two with some more finished colouring book pages. Bye.